Today I am trying something new, which is I'm giving you an old vlog. Sorry, but that's how it's working now. For 3 years in a row at this time of year, I recorded a vlog on how to cope with and manage your winter depression. And then last year I thought, oh God, I've done it 3 times. I don't want to do it again. This is irrelevant. And then this year I had a slightly better thought, which is winter comes every year and so does winter depression. And then I had an even better thought, which was, but you've already recorded this vlog 3 times, so let's not record the same thing one more time. You can just take one of your old vlogs, edit it to look a bit better and re-release it. Work smarter, not harder, people, right? Which is another way in which I am managing my winter depression this year, because I have an awful lot on. So any little thing I can do to make my life a little bit easier is a good idea. I am going to hand you over to past me so that she can give you all of her wisdom and experience and skills and tools that I have developed over the last 30 plus years that I have dealt with seasonal affective disorder. Before we head into the vlog proper, I just wanted to say that if this episode is resonating with you, if you think that it is helpful, useful, then it would mean the world to me if you were to share it on your social media or directly with somebody that you think could benefit from it. And to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I am getting closer and closer every day to 10,000 subscribers, and when I hit that, I'm going to record a day in the life video from Elin's perspective, and I think that will be a beautiful way to celebrate it. But without further ado, take it away past me.
How are you all? I am doing extraordinarily well for it being November. Now, I'm one of the people who has been diagnosed my entire adult life with SAD, Seasonal Affective Disorder, also known as winter depression. I've spoken about it a lot on this channel, but let's face it, I don't think I can talk about it enough. It's just one of those things that I think is super important to talk about. If you are prone to depression, then you're more likely to get depression for other reasons. So for example, if you have winter depression, you're more likely to go through another depressive period that is unrelated to the seasons, or you are more likely to get depression-like symptoms in, for example, perimenopause, which is another thing that I talk about a lot. My entire adult life, I have gone through periods of depression that are unrelated to the seasons, and depression and anxiety were definitely 2 big symptoms of my perimenopause that I really noticed and really felt. And I think one of the reasons I'm doing so remarkably well with my winter depression this year is because I am managing and treating my perimenopause with hormone replacement therapy. So my estrogen levels are staying solid and up, and my mental health is really, really good at the moment, which I love. But I wanted to come on here and give you a number of tips about how to manage and cope with winter depression, because I've done it for so many years and I've collected a number of tips, and most of these are low or no cost, apart from one, which is this one here. This is my SAD lamp. It's from a company called Lumie. This is not sponsored. I recommend Lumie. I think they're a brilliant company, and this is an investment. I think this one's coming up to 10 years old now, and I had my other one for over 10 years. And also Lumie does have a very small compact one that is easy to take with you if you're traveling to different places and take it with you to the office or wherever you happen to be. So there are much cheaper options available. But yes, a SAD lamp. That is the one expensive tip in all of this. I've used a SAD lamp for 20 years, every winter, and I love them. We have now had the end of daylight saving and clocks have gone back and the evenings are darker for longer, and I've started using my SAD lamp now to make sure that I don't dip down for reasons of lacking in light. A couple of years ago, my winter depression was really bad, and this was in conjunction with going through depression anyway. So I'd been really depressed, and then I'd managed that depression and I'd started recovering from it. I wasn't 100%, but I was better, and then winter hit and I went downhill and I felt so awful. And my mum said to me, look after your winter depression. It's only a few months a year you get to feel this crap. And amazingly, that made me feel better. And that is, I suppose, one of my tips here as well, is look after your winter depression. Accept it for what it is. You are not well. If you have a winter depression, you are currently not well. Take care of yourself. Medic yourself in whatever way is needed. Treat yourself. okay? We don't say to all sick people that they're just going to have to power on with life as usual, but we really like to say to people who are depressed, go on, pull yourself together, get out there. So I think accept it for what it is. It is a period in the year where you feel crap, and during that period of the year when you feel crap, you are allowed to take a step back and be a bit kinder to yourself. I always say in all of my videos about mental health, it's downsize your expectations. What is it that currently can give? What can you do less of? And do less of it. What can give? And it will be different for different people. But really, genuinely consider, what can you get rid of? What can you do less of? What can other people take off your plate? Let those things go. It's not important. Do you really have to iron your underwear throughout this period of time? If you're a person who irons underwear, I'm not, but you know, some people are. Yeah, it's things like that. What can you simplify in your life to give yourself more of a break? If you are a person who writes to-do lists, make it shorter. Don't have a to-do list of 10, 15, 20 items and desperately try to tick them off. Again, it's this thing of what can give. Keep it to 4 items, maybe 5. Or, and I'm quite a big fan of this because, oh my God, there's a good dopamine hit in this one. Get rid of the to-do list and have a ta-da list instead, where you don't plan ahead what you're going to do. Oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. Instead it is, I just did this and I just did this. Ta-da! Well done, me. And then you can write it down and you can cross it off and you get your dopamine hit and you feel so much better. I'm a big fan of a to-do list. I actually have a combined to-do and to-do list in my bullet journal right now, where there are certain things I know have to happen this week, so I write them down, and then I write down everything else I do, because yay me. I talked about the sad lamp and how important having good light is to manage your mood if you're winter depressive. And on that topic, can you get outside in daylight? Even if it's just 5-10 minutes, a bit of daylight and fresh air, and ideally moving in it, not just kind of standing there going, right, make me feel better, but also moving, a brisk 10-minute walk, because that movement will really help you as well. By the way, I am not sitting here saying you have to do these things. I know a lot of people are like, yay, exercise is the thing when you're feeling depressed, and you're sitting there going, but I'm so depressed, I can't actually make it out of bed. And if you're so depressed you can't actually make it out of bed, then you know what, if you get one toe on the floor before you change your mind, you crawl back in bed, I'm going to applaud you and I'm going to tell you you're brilliant, because some days that's an effort. Some days getting out of bed is an effort. Some days having a shower is an effort. And if those things are a massive effort, then you're definitely not going to go to the gym, right? So yes, exercise is great for managing mood, but if you're not there, then screw exercise and don't sit there feeling guilty because you can't manage that. Okay. And we have a similar thing here about what you eat. You know, a lot of people will go, make sure you only eat this and that and that and that and avoid all of these things. And yeah, I mean, alcohol is a depressant. If you have that, I'm feeling so shit, I need a glass of, then maybe think about that urge and think about that thought, because if you're thinking about it carefully, you know that it's not actually helpful and you feel more depressed after. But if you want a glass of, have a glass of, right? If you want a chocolate covered custard cream tart of some sort, have it. But you know, and I know, that good food, real food in the long run does help. If you are at a place where you have the mental energy, where you have capacity, where you have resources, meal plan and batch cook. Because if you have stuff in your freezer for days when you can't, or if you've meal planned and you've shopped for the plan and you know what you're cooking, there is so much mental energy that you don't have to spend on, oh, what am I going to eat today? And I don't know what I feel like cooking, and I don't know what I have at home. If you've meal planned and you know that, okay, it is Tuesday today and I'm going to have spaghetti bolognese, and then you just make that spaghetti bolognese because the plan is already there, and that takes so much less mental energy than having to come up with something when you're not feeling for it. Or yes, you've made a meal plan, but you've also batch cooked, so you have reserves in the freezer, and there is a day when you can't even face to cook for the meal plan, and there's something in the freezer to just heat up. A period of depression, I really don't think is the time to go, right, I'm going to calorie count, and I'm going to cut sugar, and I'm going to be super good, because you're just giving yourself so much more to cope with than you already have, and then things just become even more difficult. So if you spend the time when you're depressed kind of going, you know what, I'm just going to look after me and my depression right now, and then I can worry about other things when I feel better, I'm all for that. I'm okay with that. You're allowed to do that, okay? I personally believe in multivitamins. I know a lot of people don't, but I think a good solid multivitamin is a good idea. And I also think that if you know or suspect that you might be deficient in other things, having a blood test and seeing if there are any specific nutrients that you are lacking in and supplement for them, I think is a brilliant idea. Women are often a little bit anemic, and so boosting your iron is probably really quite helpful. If you're a vegetarian, boosting your B12 is really useful. Magnesium is a good mood stabilizer, but look into, because there are different kinds of magnesium and they do different things. Also, if antidepressants is what you need right now, then take antidepressants. If that is what you need to get out of a really bad patch, use it. It's there for a reason. And if you can get good therapy, good luck, use it. It's there for a reason. And there are other mood stabilizers available in alternative medicine. And if you're interested in them, you can look them up, you can do research. I'm going to say that they all comes with do's and don'ts and reasons to be cautious or certain contraindications. But you have St. John's wort, you have lemon balm, you have various ones that give you energy. I love aroma oils. I love having things that smell good around me, and certain aroma oils are believed to help lift your mood as well, like orange, for example. Yesterday I burnt orange and lavender just to calm us all down in the evening. It was just so lovely. You are also allowed to take a mental health day, okay? You are allowed to binge watch a show. You're allowed a nap. Actually, that is something I think should be on top of everybody's to-do list when they're going through depression. Is every day rest. Should be top priority of the day. You're allowed to cry. You're allowed to be upset. You're allowed to have down days. You're also, when you're depressed, allowed to have days when you're feeling better than you have done previous days. Other things that I use to manage my mood, I'm a big fan of gratitude journaling. So every day, write down a few positive things from that day. And I also believe that the smaller these are, the better. Very often on my gratitude journal is that first sip of coffee. Just in the morning, I make my morning coffee and then I take a moment and I pause and I hold the mug and I feel the warmth. I close my eyes and I breathe it in and then I take that first sip. And it's like, I just make that a little micro moment of mindfulness that I think is just so beautiful. Very small things can be a part of your gratitude journal. And I think it's important that you allow yourself to see the positive in the small things, that you're not always looking for something really huge and big and world-changing to be grateful for. Because if you do that, I think you set yourself up for failure. I am a huge fan of guided meditations, and there is a YouTuber called Michael Sealey who does guided meditations that I've used for years now. I love him. I think with guided meditations, if you don't like the voice, you are not going to benefit from it. And I like his voice. I get on with it. There are others that I've had recommended by people and I've listened to them. I've gone, no, I cannot do what this person is saying. I cannot follow this along. But I will link a Michael Sealey video here and you can go and check him out. If you like him, great. If you don't like him, just search guided meditation and you're gonna have so much to try out. And I hope you find one that you like. And if you have one you like, then put in the comment field below so I can go and check them out and see if I like them too. I think it can be helpful to limit social media. It is very easy when you're depressed to start the comparison game. And this person is happier than me, and this person is doing better than me, and this person has a cleaner house than I am, and this person is succeeding at everything, and I am just a failure. Limit social media. Can you create a safe space in your house? A little corner in your house where you just feel so comfortable. I have one in my bedroom. My bed is one of those. I really like my bed. And so curling up on my bed with a cup of tea and a book, and the cat jumps up and she lies on my stomach, and I really like that. But otherwise I have an armchair with a giant sheepskin, and I love that place, particularly when it's decorated for Christmas and the Christmas tree is right next to it, and I just, oh, it's so hygge. My inner Scandinavian coming out here. Well, I am Swedish. I'm allowed to like the hygge, the Nordic chic, cozy interior design, right? It's in my blood. As is the IKEA gene. I can build IKEA furniture so well. Can you create something? Can you draw a picture? Can you sit and do a diamond art thing? Can you do some colouring in? You know, the mindfulness colouring in. What else can you create? We are approaching December. Can you make some Christmas cards or Christmas decorations or something like that? You know, can you just spend some time where you're not productive for the sake of being productive, but instead you're just being creative and you're doing something you like? And finally, I'd encourage you to think about your support network. Who are the people around you and how helpful that's not the right word, But yeah, let's go with helpful. How helpful are they for your mental stability? Are you surrounded by people that drain you, or are you surrounded by people that fill you up? And, you know, if it's a lot of people who drain you, limit interactions with those people for days when you can deal with it. I'm not saying cut all your friends off and don't respond to somebody in need. Just look at who are the people that actually help you feel better. Who can you speak to that make you feel better? So my mom is one of those for me. And we live in different countries. She's still in Sweden. I'm here in the UK. I've just been on a video call with her for an hour. And it's just lovely. We talk about everything and nothing. And it's not me calling up and going, oh, Mom, I feel so horrible and I need your help. Actually, she needed more of my help. But even so, I walked away from that call a little bit happier, a little bit more fulfilled, a little bit stronger, because it's my mum and we really get on and we boost each other. And I think that is my full list of tips for coping with a winter depression. If you have any other tips, then put them down below. And if you have any questions about anything that I might be able to answer relating to this topic, then again, go ahead and put it in the comment field below. And if you're still with me at this point in my rambling, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I wish you a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Take care now. Bye.